So, first stop, and we've actually just sort of connected the car up, made notes for you guys, so that we can calculate how much charge we actually need. And then we plugged it in here at Ventersburg. And we just sat down, we've just ordered drinks. We haven't even ordered breakfast yet at this popular restaurant chain.
Franchise.
And the car's already sitting on 35%.
It's actually charging pretty quickly, considering the conditions out at the moment, so it seems pretty optimal, I'll say.
Yeah, so I think we're actually going to need to rush this. I don't think we're actually going to have to stop here, as long as what we originally planned.
Okay, so we decided let's take a little bit longer and relax ourselves, because Hare's got to eat and that. And we got up to, let's double check that, 83%. So a little bit more than what we anticipated, but we'll take it. So let's end the charge.
It's near as makes no difference, 10 o'clock. And we have driven 350 kilometers. We were only planning on charging the car up to 75%. But because we sat down and we had breakfast, when we came out, it was actually on 83%. So the charging actually took quicker than what we anticipated for the stop that we made. Yes, ordinarily you may not make that stop, or you may just, chow something in the car, but it's nice to pace ourselves.
That's another key thing we noticed just with the 25%. How far did we actually get with that in terms of range?
So we try and calculate how far we can go on 25% charge, and this is for any electric vehicle owner is rather important. Find out how far your car can go on 25%. We can do 81 kilometers.
That's pretty decent.
So when we know, and that means 360 kilometers or 320 kilometers on a full charge safely.
Yeah.
And that means that when we had to do 160 kilometers, we knew that we needed to add 50% charge.
Yeah.
That's why we knew that we needed to go from, 15-20% when we stopped. That's why we knew we needed to go up to 75%. We went a little over that, but that helps us gauging how much charge we need to make the next stop.
Well, we've made it to our first charging spot in Ventersburg. It's still very cold. Let us know about those numbers there, Sean.
So we've arrived here in Ventersburg with 28% of our battery intact. That gives us a range of 93 kilometers. We're going to put it on charge for roughly half an hour or so that we have enough to get to our next stop. It says that we consumed electricity at a rate of 24.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, but we only regenerated 1.5 kilowatt hours throughout the drive. We had covered 176 kilometers of driving at 50% of the battery range, with 180 kilometers remaining. So very interesting. Let's take a break, have a coffee, and take in Ventersburg.
Right, we are back on the road and we've changed positions just so that we can fill everybody in. We've only charged this car to 80%. We only needed to.
Well, we actually didn't even need to charge it that much, but by the time we had a snack and had a coffee, the car had already itself to 80%.
It had gone past the 55% margin that we gave us. Now, the distance to the next charging point means that we don't have to charge the car to full. We only needed to go to 55%. We ended up going to 80, which means we're going to arrive there with plenty. But yeah, we plugged the car in, set the charge, and went and got a toasted sandwich. And by the time we got back,
it was on 80%. That is because this was an 80 kilowatt charger. The next one we get to is a 60. But we've got a lot of charge in the bank, so I don't think we're going to have an issue.
No, I think we might even have to get away with a little bit less charge. Now, if you're the astute among you, will sort of realize what we're doing.
This is our second stop, 11:15. The going has been actually rather easy, and we gained a little more than what we anticipated out on the road. Yes, we did have a little more charge to start with, but we ended up here with 30%. Rather than the 15% that we were anticipating. But we are in Bloemfontein, and this is now Windmill Casino. So we can grab a bite to eat, but I don't think we're going to do that. I think there's maybe a slot machine with my name on it. We've got about 30-40 minutes to spare here up until we get the car up to 70%, which is roughly where we need it to be. I think I'll take it just over that, just to give me a little extra peace of mind.
A few moments later.
So yeah, we just came out of Windmill Casino now, one of the small town favorites, if we can. Bit on the smaller side, but hey, there's a bit of charm in small things as well.
So we've just left Windmill Casino, and we topped up a little bit extra there. We only really needed to go to 70-odd%, and we topped it up to 80 instead, and that's just to make things a little more relaxed and a little more chilled. As much as we are trying to race, I'd rather ensure that we get to our next stop. As much as we've left at an hour interval, we're still 40 minutes ahead. So we've actually only sort of lost 20 minutes by ensuring that we can make it to the next stop. Yeah. Unfortunately, when you factor in all the amount of times that you do need to stop along the way, it adds about 5 hours to what is a typical 14-hour journey from Johannesburg to Cape Town, turning this into about a 19-hour journey. And that means that it is better to split it over 2 days, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to overnight in Colesberg. Make it part of the journey. I think that's the big thing here, is it can be done, but just make it a part of the journey.
Righty, we're at the Windmill Casino here in Bloemfontein. We've arrived with plenty of charge. I think it's 35%, eh, Lawrence?
Correct. We have got 35% charge left, 121 kilometers range. We are now plugged in, and we are only going to charge to 65%, which means we only have to be here for 30 minutes. Although it is a casino, we don't really going to have really much chance to get any food because we're going to be here so quick. What do you say? We go throw $100 in a slot machine?
Yeah, sounds like a deal.
All right, so we've just left Windmill charging point. We're up to 61%, which gives us an effective range of 218 kilometers. We were only there for 30 minutes, if that. Now, you might be asking yourself, why on earth the fast car left first and we gave them a head start? Well, we didn't want to reach a situation where two cars would be at the singular charging point at the same time, and then we would have had to stagger anyway. But yes, the fast car has been ahead of us, but you might be surprised to learn that we've pulled back almost an hour and 15 minutes on them.
Yeah, we've caught up quite a bit. But to your point earlier, that will change in future, the charging, having to obviously stagger the charging, because as infrastructure improves, places like that Windmill Casino we just went to will have more than one DC charger. So then you can effectively use more than one EV, or more than one EV can charge at a time there, because you can imagine you arrive there, you're on holiday with your family, and there's only one charge and it's already occupied. It will be quite frustrating. So as the amounts of EVs and infrastructure increases, I think it will become a lot easier to do cross-country trips in this.
So that ends day one. Johannesburg to Colesberg, and it's only, well, it's just after 2 o'clock. So that actually hasn't gone too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty decent, especially the last stint we did now from Windmill Casino all the way to Colesberg now, which is a 200k stint. A lot of trucks on the road, and we did quite a bit of overtaking as well. Doesn't help that I've got 2 lead feet, but
a very lead foot. But we made it here with ample charge to spare. I think we sat on about 19-20% left, 60 kilometers of range left, so we could still go well into Colesberg. The range anxiety wasn't actually as bad as what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I am a little concerned about those guys that are doing a 100 kilometer an hour max speed. I do think that they may have a slight advantage going forward here. But we left about an hour apart today, and we're about, I'd say we're about maybe 20 minutes up.
20 minutes up.
Yeah,
Pretty
we
much.
maybe gained maybe 20 minutes in terms of being a little more hasty.
Yeah.
It's been a good day and the car's behaved.
Yep.
In short, it hasn't been stressful. It's been quite a cool journey.
Yeah, pretty relaxed, I reckon.
Yeah, and I think because we're not forced to make it into Cape Town like before nightfall or something of the sort, we understand, we've accepted that it's going to be 2 days on the road. We're just taking that, hey, casual, chilled approach.
Exactly that, and we found a lodge.
And we found a lodge. There we go. All right, so this is Star Stop in Colesberg. Car's on charge. We've got a fantastic charger here that is plumbing charging at an alarming rate. Then from here, 3-4 minutes off to our overnight accommodation where we're just going to put the feet up and chill.
There you go.
That's it. That concludes day one. Yes, day one of 2. We have split this up into a 2-day journey. We would be able to have done this in one go, but that equates to about 19 hours of travel. And well, that's just a little arduous. So to take it and make things more relaxed, we're doing it over 2 days. This is Colesberg. This is our overnight stop. And it is actually a lot closer than what we anticipated.
That is quite correct, because we got here as you were unplugging your car, power cable handoff. And to be perfectly honest, you've gained nothing by driving faster than us.
You left an hour and we found 15 minutes after us with a 15-minute delay, but you arrived here an hour and 20 after us, which means that there's 5 minutes in it. That's nothing.
So, if you want to find out what's actually going on, stay tuned for part 2.
Search AutoTrader.